What if I told you that some of the most popular manifestation advice is actually keeping people more stuck? For years, I thought I was doing everything right. I was trying all the trendy manifestation techniques. Sometimes things manifested, but most of the time I was left wondering, why isn't it working for me? It wasn't until I stopped following trendy manifestation techniques and started understanding how it actually works that everything changed. I would say I'm now living my dream life. I manifested 100,000 YouTube subscribers. I only need to work 4 hours a week. I have been together 7 years with the love of my life. I've traveled the world, and now I teach other people how to manifest. I'm a purpose and manifestation coach. And here are 11 things I wish I could tell anybody who want to manifest their dream life. And also to tell the younger version of me who spent so many years with useless manifestation techniques. So the first one that I've written down is manifestation doesn't give you what you want, but what you're ready for. One of the biggest misconceptions is that manifestation is about forcing reality to give you what you desire. It's not. Life often waits until you've become the version of yourself who can actually sustain what you're asking for. For example, when people hear that I'm a full-time content creator, many people are jealous and wish they could do the same. But are you emotionally prepared to handle criticism? Because every content creator gets haters. Do you want to create a best-selling book? Well, then you have to be prepared to do book tours and go on endless podcasts. So instead of asking yourself, why isn't it here yet? Try asking, who do I need to become to make this feel normal? So start building the qualities that your future life will require. So for example, if you want financial freedom, stop telling yourself that you're bad with money or that money is greedy, and learn how to manage the money you already have and be grateful for it. In other words, start living as the future version of you would, not by pretending you already have everything, but by practicing the habits, mindset, and emotional stability that version of you naturally embodies. Number 2, and I feel like this is not talked about enough, especially in the spiritual community, and that is that action is spiritual. This is why I always talk about taking messy action on this channel. As spiritual people, we love sitting on the couch, manifesting, doing our affirmations, visualizing, but when it comes to doing the hard work, that's when we're like, ooh, I just need to perfect this here and this here. But remember, procrastination is perfectionism in disguise. Inspired action is one of the most spiritual things you can do. Your intuition often becomes clearer after you start moving, not before. You don't manifest by sitting on your vision board. You manifest by becoming the person who acts on their vision. So think about what is one small action that you can take this week towards your goal, your dream, this week. Number 3, make sure your nervous system feels safe, because otherwise you will not manifest it. If your nervous system believes success is unsafe, you'll unconsciously avoid it. If love feels dangerous, you'll push good people away. If visibility feels threatening, you'll procrastinate posting your videos. Now, how do you make your nervous system feel safe? Step 1, visualize yourself going through the motion. For example, if you want to be a content creator like me, visualize yourself pressing record and passionately sharing your gifts with the world, and do that every day. Step 2, what we talked about before, take messy action. The more messy action you take towards your goal, the more your nervous system is like, oh, okay, this is safe. I'm not gonna die. The more your body feels safe experiencing the life you desire, the easier it becomes to receive it. The 4th thing I wish I knew about manifestation is that you need to stop trying to control the how. And this has been a difficult one for me. I'm a Capricorn, I plan things step by step, I do 10-year plans, but very rarely has things actually unfolded exactly according to my plan. The universe often delivers your desire through doors you never would have considered opening. And sometimes losing the opportunity you desperately wanted creates space for something far greater. For example, my friend, she keeps getting fired from her sales jobs and to her core wants to start a spiritual business. She's a psychic, she's even done a training on it, but she's scared to start it. And I think her higher self keeps making sure that she quits, so that eventually the pain of having to restart new jobs will be bigger than actually stepping into the bravery and starting her spiritual business. Now you might be wondering, okay, so if I don't plan the how am I gonna get to my destination? And that is by knowing clearly what your vision is, what the intention is, the goal, make that vision board, but then be open to what signs, synchronicities, opportunities the universe will give you. For example, I kept getting signs from the universe to do ayahuasca, this plant medicine. This was back when I was an atheist. And so eventually I was like, okay, let's just do this. Like, I'm feeling a deep calling. I keep getting synchronicities about it. And it was during that time I had my spiritual awakening, and I realized there's more to this life than this body and this earth. There's other realms. And that got me onto the spiritual path, which led to the Spirit Nomad and this brand and my purpose. So keep following the nudges, because the universe has a plan for you. Your higher self has a plan for you on how to achieve it. And it might be different to what your mind thinks. Number 5 is that alignment isn't feeling good all the time. Social media can make it seem like highly spiritual people are constantly peaceful, grateful, positive, but real life doesn't work like that. You can be deeply aligned and still feel fear, still cry, and have anxious days. Alignment isn't about the absence of emotion, but continuing to move towards your purpose despite your emotions. And if you're not sure what your purpose is, then I've linked a free guide on how to find your purpose. Number 6 is that your calling doesn't arrive in this lightning bolt moment. This purpose guide that I created in the description is a good start to help awaken what your purpose could be, but know that your purpose will unfold one tiny step at a time. You follow one curiosity that leads to another opportunity, which introduces another person, which opens another door. So it isn't usually found, but revealed through movement. And that is why you can't keep staying still. That is one of the worst things you can do on the spiritual journey. I'm reading a book currently called Heart-Centered Living, where the author is channeling Jesus and Mother Mary. And when she was channeling Mother Mary, she was saying how standing still, not daring to step out of your comfort zone, is one of the worst things you can do spiritually. Because if you're not moving, then how is the universe going to give you opportunities to meet a certain people, to meet a certain person, to get a certain opportunity, if you're just at home on the couch doing nothing? Because many of us will think that the worst thing we can do is taking the wrong decision, failing, doing the wrong thing. But that is what the Earth journey is for, to live and learn. So that's actually a good thing. Number 7, most people are addicted to manifesting and not living. And this one is one of the biggest mistakes that I have done in my life, I would say, and that is being so future focused and not enough focused on the present moment. I've always been very ambitious, always chasing the next thing. When I had my 9-to-5 jobs and I felt so unfulfilled, and I read the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, I was just thinking, when I become a digital nomad, my life will be complete. That will be the ultimate happiness. But when I got there 8 years ago, I was chasing the next goal, which was, okay, I'm a freelancer now, but I want to become a spiritual business owner. And when I achieved that, I was like, okay, I'm a spiritual business owner, but I want to be 6 figures, or I need to find the love of my life, or when I move to the next country, then I'll be happy. And I kept postponing my happiness. For example, me and my partner, we have known for a while that we want to move away from England, and we've gone on so many scouting trips to different countries to figure out, where do we want to live? Where do we want to settle down and live for the rest of our lives? And the first 6 years of us living in England, I barely made an effort to make friends. So I had like one friend the first 6 years or something in England, because I thought, well, we're moving anyway. And I was very rarely present, always just focused on the next step. But then I was like, you know what? We have no idea when we will find that country we want to move to. Let's just be present now. Manifestation should make you more present, not postpone your happiness. Number 8 is the universe speaks through ordinary moments. We're used to hearing things like, wait for angel numbers, if you keep seeing 1111, miracles, feathers. And while those things can be meaningful, the biggest guidance in my life came through ordinary conversations, random book recommendations, unexpected opportunities, a quiet download that came when I was going on a nature walk this morning. The universe whispers far more often than it shouts. Number 9, not every closed door is a test. Sometimes it's simply the wrong door. You don't have to force every opportunity. You don't have to prove your worth through struggle. Some things require perseverance, while others require surrender. The wisdom is knowing the difference. For example, as you might know, I used to work as Google as a contractor. And towards the end of my contract, I had the opportunity to go on an interview to become a permanent employee. So it was 3 interviews or something. And 2 of them said yes and 1 didn't, which meant I didn't get the job. And I felt crushed. But I also knew within that this wasn't my purpose. I didn't actually enjoy my job. And shortly after, I became a business owner, started the Spirit Nomad, and I'm so glad that I didn't get the job offer. And in fact, I ended my contract earlier, and I went to South America, where I did the ayahuasca, where I had my spiritual awakening. So there was a divine plan already laid out for me. And I'm so glad it didn't work out with Google. Sometimes the closed door isn't asking you to push harder. It's simply redirecting you to your dream life that you're meant to live. Number 10, becoming is more important than receiving. So your external manifestations, they're gonna come and go. But what is important is who you are becoming, the journey, the manifestation journey you go through. So when you have your dream house, you have your dream business, you're not gonna be looking at them and be like, these were my best manifestations. It will be looking at yourself and see, wow, look how much I've grown. So enjoy the journey. Enjoy you becoming your higher self. Number 11, the more you serve, the less you chase. This completely shifted how I approached success. When I stopped obsessing over what I could get and started asking, how can I help? Everything became lighter. People feel genuine intention. Opportunities naturally flow towards people who create value. Service isn't just good karma, but one of the fastest ways to align with abundance. And one good example of this is Alex Hormozi. If you're into business, he's like the OG. And he started out by creating this massively valuable ebook called $100 Million Offers. And he sold it for just $1 on Amazon. And it became an absolute bestseller. And it made him like the most famous business guru because he was giving so much value. So even though I don't think he considers himself spiritual, he really stepped into service and thought, how can I serve? And that led to crazy abundance for him. He's now a multi-millionaire. Let me know which manifestation lesson was the biggest aha moment for you. Love you so much. And next up, watch my video, Best Business Models for Spiritual People, if you want to learn how to turn your gifts into a soulful online business. Love you so much and see you in the next video.